Neighbors. Everybody needs good neighbors.
The stars of Neighbours entertained millions, but for some, life took a heartbreaking turn. Behind the glitz of Australia's most beloved soap opera, tragedy struck time and time again. Some of these actors left us too soon, their lives cut short by illness, accidents, or shocking circumstances. Today, we're remembering the Neighbours actors who have passed away. She was the little blonde girl who lit up Ramsay Street as Skye Mangle, the daughter of Carrie Bishop and granddaughter of Harold Bishop. Miranda Fryer joined Neighbours at just 18 months old, instantly charming audiences with her big blue eyes and adorable presence. Playing the infant Skye in the late 80s, Miranda was part of one of the show's most beloved families. Her on-screen parents, played by Mark Little and Linda Hartley Clark, brought warmth and drama to the soap, with baby Skye often at the center of emotional storylines. Though Miranda's time on Neighbours was short, her character lived on, later played by other actresses. But for longtime fans, she will always be the original Skye. As she grew older, Miranda stepped away from acting, eventually pursuing a career in nursing. In 2021, she completed her degree at Monash University, and in November 2020, she married Arthur Pathitis, looking forward to their future together. But on January 6, 2022, tragedy struck. Miranda passed away in her sleep at just 34 years old. Her family revealed she had been experiencing heart issues, but the exact cause of her death remains unknown. In a heartbreaking statement, they described Miranda and her husband as true soulmates, making plans for a family before her sudden passing. A life cut short, a future never realized. Rest peacefully, Miranda. Before Jason Donovan made Scott Robinson a household name, it was Darius Perkins who first brought the character to life. In Neighbours' debut year, 1985, Darius played Scott as a rebellious yet charming teenager, navigating family conflicts, young love, and life on Ramsay Street. Despite his solid performance, the role was recast in 1986, and Jason Donovan took over. But Darius wasn't done with soap operas. He later appeared in Home and Away as Gary Samuels, a shady character who caused trouble in Summer Bay. After stepping away from the limelight, Darius battled cancer in his later years, passing away on January 2, 2019, at 54. His former co-stars paid tribute, remembering him as a kind soul who played a pivotal role in launching one of Australia's most iconic TV shows. Though his time as Scott was brief, he'll always be the original Scott Robinson, gone, but never forgotten. Before Alan Dale became the iconic Jim Robinson, Neighbours had its first troubled father, Max Ramsay, played by Francis Bell. A proud working-class man with a fiery temper, Max was a plumber who often clashed with his two sons, Shane and Danny. His stubbornness and protective nature made him a central figure in Ramsay Street's earliest storylines, including his rocky relationship with his wife, Maria. Bell's intense performance helped Neighbours establish its dramatic tone when it launched in 1985, but after 2 years he left the show and his life took a tragic turn. He largely stepped away from acting, and on June 3, 1994, he passed away in Sydney at just 50 years old. Though Max Ramsey's time in the show was brief, his legacy endured. Ramsey Street itself was named after his character, forever cementing Francis Bell's place in Neighbours history. Russell Kiefel's time on Neighbours may have been short, but his impact was memorable. In 2015, he took on the role of Russell Brennan, the estranged and troubled father of Mark Tyler and Erin Brennan. His character was deeply flawed, an abusive father whose past mistakes had driven a wedge between him and his sons. Though his character arc was brief, Kiefel's performance brought raw emotion, adding layers to the Brennan family's backstory. Off-screen, he was a highly respected theater actor in Australia, known for his powerful stage presence. But in November 2016, tragedy struck. Kiefel collapsed while performing on stage in Darwin. Despite medical efforts, he passed away days later at the age of 65. His sudden passing left a hole in the Australian theater scene, and Neighbours fans still remember his gripping performance as Russell Brennan, another talent lost too soon. She was the tough, no-nonsense matriarch of Ramsey Street, Lynn Scully. For over 2 decades, Janet Andrewartha brought to life a character who was fiercely protective, endlessly ambitious, and always ready with a sharp remark. Lynn first arrived in Neighbours in 1999, a struggling single mother trying to build a better life for her children. From running a hair salon to turbulent relationships, including that unforgettable on-again, off-again romance with Paul Robinson, her storylines were packed with drama, but beneath her tough exterior, Lynn had a heart of gold, especially when it came to her daughter Steph. Janet Andrewartha's portrayal made Lynn Scully an unforgettable Neighbours icon, proving she could hold her own in any storyline. Even years after her first appearance, she remained a fan favorite, a testament to both her acting and the legacy she leaves behind in Australian television. Rest in peace. She lit up Neighbours in 1997 as Sandra Pike, a charismatic journalist who caused quite a stir in Erinsborough. Sandra's sharp instincts and ambition made her a memorable character, stirring up drama with some of Ramsey Street's biggest names. Beyond Neighbours, Kathy was best known for Home and Away and The Saddle Club, but in 2007, her career took an unexpected turn. Diagnosed with a brain tumor, she underwent surgery and chemotherapy. For a while, she fought back, but in January 2018, the cancer returned. This time, it was terminal. On May 4, 2018, Kathy Godbold passed away at just 43 years old. Heartbreakingly, she was buried alongside her mother, journalist Rosemary Margan, who had died months earlier. Though gone too soon, Kathy's legacy lives on in the unforgettable roles she brought to life. Rest in peace, dear Kathy. He was one of Australia's most beloved soap stars, Dieter Brummer, best known for playing the brooding Shane Parrish on Home and Away. But later in his career, he stepped into Neighbours, taking on the role of Troy Miller, a man with a complicated past and even more complicated relationships. Troy was introduced as Callum's biological father, but instead of a heartwarming reunion, his arrival stirred chaos. His controlling nature and dark temper made him a complex antagonist, keeping viewers on edge. But behind Brummer's success, he struggled. On July 24, 2021, he was found in his Sydney home, having lost his battle with mental health at the age of 45. His passing sent shockwaves through the industry, with co-stars paying tribute to the man behind the roles. Though he later stepped away from acting to work as a high-rise window cleaner, his impact on Australian television remains, a reminder that even those who seem to have it all may be fighting battles we don't see. Rest in peace, Dieter. Fans of Neighbours will remember him as Michael Martin, the troubled teen who arrived on Ramsay Street in the 90s. Troy Beckwith brought depth to the role, portraying a character who struggled with his father's remarriage. On January 24, 2024, at just 48 years old, Troy's life came to an end. His passing was confirmed by friends who said there would be no funeral. The news devastated fans who had grown up watching him. Though he stepped away from the spotlight, his mark on Neighbours remains. Another talent gone too soon. She was the matriarch of Neighbours, the beloved Helen Daniels, a character who shaped Ramsay Street from the very first episode in 1985. Wise, warm, and resilient, Helen was more than just a grandmother. She was the glue holding the community together. She supported her family through endless drama, from Scott and Charlene's legendary wedding to heart-wrenching losses. But behind the scenes, Anne Hattie faced immense struggles. She battled severe health issues, including kidney failure and multiple surgeries, yet she continued acting for over a decade. In 1997, her declining health forced her to retire. Just 2 years later, on June 6, 1999, she passed away at 68. Helen Daniels remains one of Neighbours' most cherished characters, and Anne Hattie's legacy as the heart and soul of the show lives on. Rest peacefully. The Neighbours cast felt like family to millions, making these losses even harder to bear. Some were taken by sudden illness, others by tragic fate, but their legacies live on in the hearts of fans. Which of these actors left the biggest impact on you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of television. Though they may be gone, their time on Neighbours ensures they will never be forgotten.